Amber Johnston's arrest. Why was Amber Johnston arrested? I'm going to explain everything. Behind the perfect image of this reality TV family, there's a dark rumor that's been spreading. It started quietly, but has now reached many corners of the internet. Reddit threads, secret Facebook groups, and quiet conversations among the show's biggest fans. The rumor is shocking and completely opposite to what people expect. If it were true, it wouldn't just end the family's TV career. It would shake everything they've built. The rumor is that Amber Johnston, the mother and center of the Johnston family, was arrested. But was she? What could a mother of 5, a loved reality TV star, possibly be arrested for? In this special investigation, we'll go back to where it all began. We'll look at how the rumor started, what evidence people used, and finally, tell the truth about what really happened. To understand why this rumor got so much attention, we need to first look at the woman at the center of it. Amber Johnston, born Amber Florist, wasn't famous from the start. Like Trent, she made her own way in a world not always built for little people. Even as a child, she was strong and determined. That strength has shaped her whole life. "I always knew I wanted to be a mom," she once said. "I knew I wanted a house full of kids, noise, love, and I wasn't going to let anything stop me from having that." She met Trent at a Little People of America convention. It was a classic love story. Their bond was instant and deep. They shared dreams, a home, a family, and a life where they made their own rules. They married and had 2 biological children, Jonah and Elizabeth. Later, they adopted 3 more kids from 3 different countries. This wasn't easy. It took time, effort, paperwork, and a deep kind of love. These actions showed the kind of person Amber was: strong, organized, and loving. When 7 Little Johnstons began airing in 2015, people quickly noticed Amber's parenting style. She was clearly the head of the house, the one who kept everything going. She managed schedules, schoolwork, money, and her children's medical needs. Her way of parenting was direct, strict, and practical. She believed in rules and in preparing her kids for the real world. Amber fit a common role in reality TV, the tough love mom. Unlike other moms on TV who might be more easygoing, Amber's way was about control and structure. The main conflict on the show was often between Amber's need for control and her kids' need for independence. So, the idea of her getting arrested, of losing control, seems impossible. But that's exactly why the rumor spread so fast. Still, not everyone liked her strict ways. Some viewers said she was too harsh or tried to control too much. They pointed to conflicts with her older kids, especially Anna and Jonah, as they started to grow up and make their own choices. Fights about college, moving out, dating, all became part of the show. Amber wanted to protect them, but her kids wanted freedom. These moments of tension made it easy for viewers to believe something worse might be happening. Could the show be hiding something deeper? Was the pressure of fame making things fall apart? To many, Amber was a mix of strong and strict, and that made the idea of her being arrested feel like a big fall from grace. But where did the rumor actually come from? A story this big doesn't appear out of nowhere. We followed the clues and found something interesting and concerning about how online rumors begin. It started with a quiet post on a little-known gossip forum in late 2023. It wasn't a news article, just a blind item. This mom from a big reality TV family in the South recently got into trouble with the law. The network is trying to hide it. It involved a heated fight that got out of hand. It didn't name anyone, but fans of the show quickly guessed who it meant. A Southern reality TV family, a strict mom. Could it be the Duggars, the Bates, or the Johnstons? To many people, the description fit Amber perfectly. From there, the rumor spread to Reddit, especially in subreddits about reality TV gossip and 7 Little Johnstons. Did anyone else hear about Amber Johnston being arrested? Someone posted. Another person replied, "OMG, I knew it. The way she treats Anna, it was only a matter of time." Someone else said, "Probably a DUI. They're always drinking on the show." People started digging for signs. They noticed Amber had taken a break from Instagram. One person said she looked tired in recent episodes. That must mean she was in jail, right? This is what's called confirmation bias. When someone already believes something, they start looking for proof, even if it's weak. A normal person might think she's taking a break, but someone who already thinks she's guilty will see it as proof. And online, that kind of thinking spreads fast. Then YouTube channels got involved. Small accounts that made clickbait videos saw how popular Amber Johnston arrest was in searches. They started making low-quality videos using text-to-speech voices. The headlines were bold. The stories were false. But the YouTube algorithm doesn't always check the facts. The videos got thousands, even hundreds of thousands, of views. Each view, comment, and share made the rumor seem more real. At this point, the rumor was everywhere. It looked real. It felt real. So people started believing it. TLC and the Johnstons didn't say anything. Most celebrities are told not to respond to rumors like this. But that silence made things worse. To people who already believed the rumor, the silence wasn't just silence, it was a cover-up. So what started as a small, vague post on a gossip site became a widely shared fact. A rumor is one thing, but the claims behind it, that's something else entirely. And the reason behind the supposed arrest is where the story takes an even darker and more speculative turn. As the rumor about Amber's arrest started to sound more believable, online discussions focused on the most important question. Why? What could she have possibly done? With no official report, online users started creating their own stories, each one more dramatic than the last. We found 3 main theories that have taken over most of the conversation. We're going to go through each one and look at the so-called evidence people are using. The first big theory is about money. The Johnstons are successful reality stars. It's estimated they make between $25,000 and $40,000 per episode. They live in a large, beautiful house. They've started side businesses. Trent sells cars, and they also have an online store. When there's money, people start paying attention. This theory claims that Amber, who handles the family's money, may have done something illegal with it. Some people on the internet suggest things like tax evasion or taking money meant for the kids. People ask questions online like, how can they afford that house? And are they paying taxes on their TLC income and businesses? They point to their Etsy shop where they sell items and guess, without proof, that the money might not be properly reported. For anyone who runs a small business or works for themselves, like reality TV stars, taxes can be confusing. There's money from the network, from side businesses, and from social media deals. It's a lot to handle. So it becomes an easy target for speculation. People throw around words like tax fraud or embezzlement without needing real proof, because these crimes happen on paper and are hard to see. But this theory doesn't hold up when looked at closely. The Johnstons have been in the public eye for nearly 10 years. Their money is probably handled by professionals, accountants, lawyers, and the TLC network. If something serious had happened, it likely would have been noticed by now. Still, people love to gossip about the wealth of reality stars, and some enjoy the idea of seeing it all fall apart. The second, and probably most talked about theory, is that Amber was arrested after a domestic incident. This theory is based heavily on what viewers see on the show. Amber and Trent clearly love each other, but they do argue. They aren't afraid to disagree on camera. Some fans believe one of those arguments went too far. The rumor says a neighbor may have heard yelling, called the police, and Amber was arrested under state domestic violence laws. People use moments from the show to support this idea. Episodes where Trent and Amber seem more tense. Some point to their storylines about intimacy struggles, disagreements about big decisions, or the stress of raising 5 teenagers. Others take the theory further and say the fight wasn't with Trent, but maybe with one of their kids. The most common guess is Anna, since their relationship has had some tough moments on the show. This theory feels believable to fans because it seems like a natural next step in the drama they already see. They've watched the arguments. They've seen the stress. In their minds, once the cameras are off, things get worse. The problem is, this is based on edited TV, not reality. Every couple has arguments. But when it comes to the Johnstons, fans treat every disagreement as a clue for a crime that never happened. This theory is especially harmful because it takes normal family issues and turns them into criminal accusations. It paints their home life as dangerous or chaotic, something there's never been any proof of. The third theory is the most serious and disturbing of all. It claims that Amber's parenting style went too far, that her strict, tough love became something abusive and Child Protective Services got involved, leading to her arrest. Let's be clear, this idea is completely made up and based only on harmful online gossip. People who already criticize her parenting use this to push the theory. They call her a narcissist or emotionally abusive and pull out short scenes from the show to support their claims. For example, a moment where Amber asks for respect or gives a punishment is described online as abuse. A moment where she looks frustrated is twisted into her being mentally unstable. This theory really picked up during the storyline about Anna leaving home. Amber's serious and sometimes distant way of handling it was seen by some as cold, even cruel, rather than as a parent trying to teach a hard lesson. This theory is the most dangerous, and it could do real harm to the family. Even though it's false, accusations like this can stick around and affect how people view them forever. But in the world of online gossip, this kind of serious claim is thrown around without any care. These three theories, money problems, a domestic fight, and child endangerment, are the main reasons people think Amber was arrested. But all of them are based on guesses, rumors, and scenes from a TV show that is edited for drama. None of them are based on real facts. They're built on misunderstandings, bias, and the way the internet can take a rumor and turn it into a whole story. But now it's time to move away from the rumors and look at the truth. After looking at everything people were saying online, we reached the most important part of our investigation, searching for real, provable facts. In the United States, if someone is arrested, there's a public record. There's a paper trail. And with a little research, that information can usually be found. If Amber Johnston had been arrested, there would be a record somewhere. We started by checking the most obvious place, Monroe County, Georgia. That's where the Johnston family lives. The fastest way to check for an arrest is through the local sheriff's department. So we searched the Monroe County Sheriff's Office database. We looked at arrest logs from the time the rumors began, late 2023, to today. These public logs list every person arrested, the date, and the charges. We searched for Amber Johnston. We also searched her maiden name, Amber Florist. We even checked other Johnstons around the same age who might be mistaken for her. Every search gave the same result. Nothing. No arrest. No record. No trace. But we didn't stop there. Maybe the arrest happened while they were traveling. Maybe in a nearby county. So we checked surrounding counties, Bibb, Lamar, Butts, and Jasper. We went through their public arrest records too. Again, the same result, no arrest, no charges. Next, we looked at court records. An arrest is always followed by a court case. So we checked the Monroe County Clerk of Court's website, a public system that tracks both criminal and civil cases. We searched the same names again, Amber Johnston and Amber Florist. We looked for anything from small charges like traffic violations to more serious crimes. Once again, we found nothing. No criminal case. No charges filed. No court dates. No hearings. Let's be completely clear. After a full and detailed search of all public law enforcement and court records in Monroe County and all nearby areas, covering the entire time the rumors have been going around, we found absolutely no proof that Amber Johnston has ever been arrested. There's no paper trail, no police report, no case, nothing. So what about the evidence people saw on social media? Like her time away from Instagram? We looked at that too, and we'll cover it next, the break that fans pointed to. Was a period of less than 2 weeks, a perfectly normal time frame for a busy mother of 5 to be less active online. Shortly after, she returned to posting regular family updates, pictures with Trent, and stories about their daily lives, not the behavior of someone embroiled in a legal scandal. What about the network TLC or the family? Themselves? Their silence, which speculators call the cover-up, is in fact the most logical response. Addressing such a baseless and outlandish rumor would only give it oxygen. It would lend credibility to a lie. The most powerful statement they can make is to ignore the noise and continue living their lives, which is exactly what they have done. The rumor of Amber Johnston's arrest is a ghost. It's a phantom worn of whispers and amplified by algorithms. It has all the hallmarks of a compelling story, a famous family, a controversial matriarch, a shocking secret, but is missing the single most important ingredient, the truth. So the case is closed. The rumor is false. But the story doesn't end there. Because while the arrest may be fiction, the impact of the rumor is very, very real. We must ask ourselves, what is the human cost of a lie like this? Behind the television screen, behind the Instagram posts are real human beings. Amber Johnston is not just a character. She is a wife, a mother, and a grandmother. Imagine for a moment waking up to find thousands of strangers online accusing you of heinous crimes, dissecting your every move, and proclaiming you've been arrested. Imagine your children seeing these things, your friends and extended family. Dr. Chloe. There's a dehumanization that occurs with reality stars because they share a part of their lives. The audience feels a sense of ownership. They feel entitled to all of it. They forget there are private moments, inner thoughts, and real feelings that are not part of the television narrative. A rumor like this isn't just gossip, that it's a form of psychological violence. It's an attack on a person's character, their reputation, and their family's sense of safety and peace. This entire affair serves as a powerful and cautionary tale about the world we live in. It highlights the immense responsibility that falls on us, the consumers of media. It is easy to get swept up in the drama, to click on the sensational headline, to participate in the gossip. It gives us a dopamine hit, a feeling of being in the know. But we have a choice. We can choose to question the source. We can choose to look for evidence before we believe. We can choose to remember the humanity behind the screen. While the internet was busy inventing a scandal, the Johnston family was busy living their lives. They were celebrating milestones, navigating challenges, and continuing to share their journey, seemingly unaware or simply unbothered by the fictional drama being written about them. Their reality, the one of family dinners, work, and love, continued completely separate from the dark fantasy playing out in online forums. The story of Amber Johnston's arrest is not really the story about her at all. It's a story about us. It's a reflection of our culture's appetite for scandal and our willingness to believe the worst even in the absence of proof. It's a mirror showing us the dangerous power we wield with every click, every share, and every comment. So we began this journey with a simple, shocking question. Was 7 Little Johnstons star Amber Johnston arrested? We've traveled deep into the heart of the rumor. We explored the public persona of Amber Johnston, the tough love matriarch, whose on-screen personality made her a target for speculation. We uncovered the genesis of the lie, a vague blind item on a gossip forum that spiraled into a firestorm of confirmation bias fueled by Reddit, YouTube, and social media. We dissected the 3 main allegations: financial crimes, domestic violence, and child endangerment, and revealed them to be nothing more than speculative fiction built by stitching together out-of-context show moments. And finally, we conducted a thorough fact-based investigation. We searched the official public records of law enforcement and the courts, and the verdict is in. The rumor that Amber Johnston was arrested is definitively and unequivocally false. More update. 7 Little Johnstons. Fans beg Trent to dump abusive Amber. Trent cries as he shares eulogy for dad. But why? And fans diagnose Trent Johnston's serious illness. I will explain everything. 7 Little Johnstons fans beg Trent to dump abusive Amber. But why? Many viewers of 7 Little Johnstons have recently demanded that Trent Johnston leave his abusive wife Amber, demonstrating the widespread disapproval of the actress. As a result, what are people saying? Based on the most recent conversation, 7 Little Johnston's followers unanimously agree that Amber Johnston is the most despised family member. Everyone knows that Amber and Trent are very authoritarian in their home, but most people think that Amber is the real powerhouse. Whether she's interacting with her spouse or children, Amber always comes out as distant and calculating that may be useful in some contexts. But dealing with loved ones calls for a touch more delicacy, and many viewers of Seven Little Johnston feel that Amber is willfully lacking in that area. 7 moments from season 15 of Little Johnstons have featured Trent Johnston coping with his brain condition. For instance, according to TLC scenes, Trent is going through a terrible period, but viewers are upset at Amber because she keeps making the situation about her. Also, when someone like Trent needs extra assistance during this tough time, her overall demeanor makes her seem harsh and indifferent. Countless viewers think Trent would be wise to leave Amber for a more supportive relationship for reasons like these. Earlier last month, Seven Little Johnston's viewers brought up an even older instance of Amber's aggressive behavior toward Trent. The most selfless person in this house is Amber, she says after ripping her husband a new one and calling him out. Seven Little Johnston's fans unsurprisingly had a lot to say about it, with many demanding that Trent Johnston leave abusive Amber. Recently, someone commented if she believes that about herself. She's the one who's always out of tune in that house. She truly does believe it about herself. Mentioned another commenter. A narcissist would think and act that way. Additionally, a third individual expressed their wish that he will simply leave her. Once that happens, he'll be able to meet a lovely woman to spend your time with. He needs to quit being so gross. Maybe the new one will tell him that. How selfless of her to micromanage her varied adult children's lives and treat her kids so differently. It's painfully obvious who's the favorite. Another person wrote, I pray he meets a woman of a normal size. One user continued, the animosity and envy that Amber feels toward those of average height and weight is immense. Still a move from matter, but spare us the infidelity and protracted divorce. Seven Little Johnston's Trent cries as he shares eulogy for Dad. But why? Watch as Trent's father Poppy passes away on Seven Little Johnston. In a recent video, Trent delivers his eulogy to his family while visibly distraught about his loss. Trent also shared a life lesson he had with his dad at the touching occasion. The 7-member Johnston family headed by Trent and Amber deals with dwarfism in their TLC series Seven Little Johnston. The family has gone through a lot since the series premiered in 2015, and fans have witnessed their growth changes and emotional moments. The former's parents' care became an increasing priority for the family in season 15. Sadly, Trent's dad, Walter P. Lawrence Johnston, also known as Poppy, passed away in the 7th episode. On March 10th, 2024, Trent's dad went away. His passing occurred when he was 90 years old. Previous news has it that on March 12th, 2024, Trent paid respect to his father on Instagram. Our Poppy, a man from heaven, it read, accompanied with a blue love emoji. The episode recently featured Trent reading a eulogy to his family. His father, he revealed, was an ardent supporter of the Atlanta Braves and the Georgia Bulldogs, and he fondly recalled his time with Poppy. It was at Fulton County Stadium that I went to a few Braves games with him. No matter what, he would park in the driveway of this elderly man and who knows, maybe even pay him a little